Hi folks, Santo here with Remax Premier. The March numbers are in. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about what the news has been saying as far as how terrible things are, but then I'm going to focus on Vaughan, the micro markets within Vaughan, and we're going to talk about absorption rate or months of inventory is another way to explain it. First of all, this is what you're hearing in the news. Sales are down almost 40%. And average prices are down 14.3%. Now, if those numbers sound terrible to you, it's because they are. But here's what's happening. Let's look at it from a different angle. Those big drops in percentages for March, what is basically comparing March this year to March last year. And we know that the first quarter of last year was La La Land. It was incredible sales, record-breaking first quarter, and a good part of April, those prices were still high. But let's look at it a little bit different. Let's look at what trend, what's happening over the last few months. And we look at the last 3 months from January for this year, average home prices have gone up for the last 3 months in a row, which is good news. If you're looking to sell, you're looking at the most recent sale in your neighborhood and you're comparing to that. If you're looking to buy, the price you're looking to pay really is got to be, if you're being realistic in what you're offering, it's what have homes recently sold at and which direction are prices going. Are they going up or down? And although Treb is saying the news outlets are saying how down we are on prices, the reality is we've been seeing an upward trend. These numbers represent all of Treb for all home types, but let's compare Vaughan and let's focus on the detached market for now. So when we see Vaughan, the last several months, things have actually been quite steady. This was first quarter last year. We're a little bit lower here now, but Vaughan prices are higher than Treb's average prices for detached houses. Now this slide here looks at the different neighboring cities around the Vaughan area and kind of their trend over the last 6 months. And it's relatively steady over January, February, and March. We had some turmoil at the end of last year, but things are pretty steady right now, which is comforting to know. When we look at the different home types, we're not seeing any drops or huge spikes. So also when we compare it, we look at detached condos and towns and semis, pretty much stable, not the terrible numbers that Treb has been announcing. And then when we look at the different areas, so now we're going more focused into the different neighborhoods of Vaughan, this kind of puts the order in the different areas. So West Woodbridge on average has the lowest average selling price. Now we're just looking at detached homes and you can see the different neighborhoods over there, but let's take a closer look at the neighborhoods because this is where it gets really interesting. Vellore Village has since December has been dropping in average price, but it picked up a little bit, 1% from February to March. Sonoma Heights also has picked up 7.2%. Now, what 7.2% equates to is almost a $75,000 increase in average price just from February to March. East Woodbridge has gone up 12.5% from February to March, and you can see the number. We've seen some more activity. 17 homes were sold. Now 12.5%, that's a $155,000 increase on the average home sold in East Woodbridge. Now West Woodbridge, a whole different story. West Woodbridge for 6 months in a row has been showing a decline in prices. So if you're looking to sell in West Woodbridge, I'd hurry up and get on the market in case it continues to drop. Kleinberg is heading upwards. It's got an increase of 10% and for the last couple of months has been showing an increase. Islington Woods is dropped 14%. Now that's a $200 and $18,000 in average price. That's a big difference. Now, what's important to note is when you're looking at sales that are this low, 3 units, 6 homes, 3 homes, and you're looking at an area like Islington Woods, there's some very, very expensive properties in there. And when you're only talking about a few units sold, one house, one way or another, could make a big difference in the average price. So you got to look at some of these numbers and really do a little bit more research behind what they actually mean. Patterson has been going up and down, but from February to March, prices dropped a little bit. However, units sold has gone up, so we're starting to see a lot of activity in Patterson, and Maple has been going up and down also. So from February to March, although units sold has increased, doubled actually, sales were down on average 3.3%, which equates to about $34,000. These are important numbers to know, but if you're looking at setting prices, there's something called absorption rate or months of inventory. Now, let me explain what absorption rate is. Absorption rate basically calculates, if we look at what's for sale now, how quickly can we sell what's for sale currently based on the previous month's sale rate. So, or the speed of what homes are selling at. So when we look at this, when we look at March 2017, a year ago, the months of inventory at that time was 0.8. So whatever we had listed for sale, at that speed of sales that we were doing, we were going to sell what we had in less than a month, in 0.8 of a month. Right now, our months of inventory is 3.6 months. So with all the listings we have, and this is for Vaughan, all the listings, we have 3.6 months of inventory. That's for all home types. When we break this down a little bit further, here's 3.6 months for all home types. Detached, we have 3.8 months. And this is why when you drive around some of the neighborhoods, you see homes sitting on the market a lot longer. So if let's say we were to round this to 4, if there's 4 homes for sale in your neighborhood, one of them is going to sell this month. It's going to take 4 months to sell all of them. That's absorption rate, and that's one of the most important factors when it comes to determining price. Semi-detached are lower, 1.9%, so you'll see those homes selling much quicker. Townhomes, 4.6%. Condo apartments, 2.8%. You hear people talking about seller's market, buyer's market, balanced. Basically, when we talk about months of inventory, 5 to 6 months is basically a balanced market. Below a balanced market is a seller's market. So when we have less than 5 months of inventory, it's still a bit of a seller's market. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking March last year, oh, it was hot. That's a seller's market. Yes, but that's an extreme seller's market. We are still technically in a seller's market. Over 5 months, 5 to 6, it's more balanced. And then over 6 months of inventory, that's when we're looking at a true buyer's market. So that way, extreme buyer's market, really low, extreme seller's market. So semis are really, it's tricky to get those. You're probably going to see multiple offers on the semis. You're seeing prices go up quickly on the semis. I do want to show you one last slide that really it sums up a lot of what's been going on. The news has been talking about how we're lower and everything is going terrible, and it's not necessarily the case. In some neighborhoods, prices are up. Some neighborhoods, prices are down. So it's important you find out what's going on in your neighborhood. Give me a call. I can help you with that. But let's look at the overall history of real estate for the Vaughan area. What this chart actually shows that year over year from 2010, prices have been increasing from the previous year every single year. And there's been dips in each of those years. However, when you look at this number, if you bought a home in Vaughan in 2010, you have basically doubled your investment. And that's fantastic news. Nobody's talking about that. I guess that doesn't sell any newspapers, or that doesn't sell any eyeballs on the TV screen. I hope you found this information useful. You could click below to download any of these slides. If your neighborhood is not mentioned, give me a call. All my contact details are below. Or you can go to VaughanRealEstateInsider.com, get all the information you need. Let me know if I can help with anything. Thank you. My name is Santo with Remax Premier.